Welcome to this unedited podcast post on emotional eating, binge freedom, and the ability to step totally away from diets, all with your mindset. Okay. We are going to talk about changing your mindset, changing your habits, and actually getting you the power that you look for when you are tracking your food, when you're weighing yourself, when you're measuring your pant size, all these things. It's an illusion of control, but it's not giving you actual control. And I want to talk about the order of us finding the control today and start to get you thinking about a different order, an order that is going to actually give you the control that you're looking for. So, like I said, this is unedited. I want to come on here as a real person. I want to connect with you as a real person. And I want to do it in an unedited version. We don't need more fancy podcasts. We need more reality. This is me being real. There may be some slip ups, there may be some fubs, but I think that even makes it better because you can connect with me in a different way than a polished podcast. Okay. So if you don't know me, I am Meredith and I am a licensed binge eating therapist. I have a private practice. I'm also a nutrition coach. And I put the two and two together for my clients in my office and my coaching clients online and really help them change their food relationships from the inside out. Okay. We focus so much on the outside and all this external stuff, weight, food tracking, calories, all the stuff that actually at the end of the day is not going to get you where you want to be and keep you there. Okay. It's great for short term if you want to lose 10 pounds for a birthday or you want to fit in that dress for the holidays. Great. You can really restrict and you can serve yourself. But nobody that I have met in my practice wants to live like that. They don't want to live with all these food thoughts and obsession around their weight and what they can and can't eat and my fitness pal and tracking and all of it. They just want to live simple. They don't want to have to think about it and they don't want to have to keep fighting their weight. Okay. So I want to talk about today, and before I get into it, right, this is for informational purposes only. I'm not acting as a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just here chatting, and I want to encourage you to just see and maybe think of things in a very different way. It can be empowering when you see things differently and when you hear things in a different way. And maybe you can take a nugget away today from that. So, again, it's for informational purposes only. And I hope that you find this episode helpful as you start to look at your own food relationships and you start to look at the order that you are trying to get control in. Okay. So let's talk about that order. Oftentimes, the order that we've been taught with diets, diet culture, is that you need to focus on the food that you are consuming. You need to be counting calories. You need to be very aware of the food. And that's how you're going to get control. And that's how you are going to keep the weight off. And that's how you are going to lose the weight, is to really focus in on the food. Here's the problem with that is we have no understanding of what is happening behind the scenes internally in our body to get us to even the food choice. Okay. Sure, diets can tell you what to eat, what time to eat, all those things, and totally shut off your hunger and fullness cues. And we'll get into that in a different episode. But really, the reality is that when we focus on only the food, there's so many other things happening. There's rebellion happening. There's dread happening. There's burnout happening when we think about diets, but we focus in on the food. We ignore all the feelings that we have, the actual internal emotional feelings that we have. And the reality is when I talk about binge eating and wanting to end binge eating, we have to look at the binge cycle. And part of the binge cycle is thoughts and emotions. because those are what drives our behaviors. We don't just wake up and say, like, hey, I'm going to go eat a brownie. Maybe you do, but there's probably reasoning behind wanting to eat that brownie. But that's the stuff that we haven't been taught to look at. That's the stuff that we ignore because it makes us uncomfortable. Below the surface is all the information. Okay. Thoughts drive our emotions. Okay. It triggers our emotion. Emotion is the discomfort, all the stuff swirling around inside of our body, which we then create reactions, responses, behaviors from. When we don't look at the thought and when we don't look at the emotion that's driving us to want the cookie, then we are doing a disservice to ourselves. We are not going to get the actual control that we're looking for because we're not going after the the actual thing that even matters. Okay. We are doing stuff in the wrong order. When you look at your food, I want you to start questioning why you're choosing that food. What is it that you want to get from that food? How do you want to feel after you eat this food? Okay. Instead of worrying about the calorie content of this food. That's what I want you to start thinking about because really the calorie content at the end of the day isn't going to matter if you don't understand what the drive is and the reasoning behind you wanting that food in the first place is. Okay. So when you have an urge to eat, when you have an urge to binge, it is usually an emotion driving that. And I want you to ask yourself, what are you feeling and what do you need? A lot of times we don't know what we feel because we haven't given ourselves space to understand what a feeling even is, to allow ourselves to even have it because we have it and we have quickly learned to shut that down. Maybe we've been shut down in our past and we just learned that that's like normal. We should not have feelings. If we do, they're bad. We need to get rid of them. We need to have a reaction that's appropriate to get us out of this mess, right? The reality is that we have to be in the mess. We have to be in the mess of our emotions. We have to learn that when we are uncomfortable, we are still safe. And that's the disconnect. We have taught ourselves that discomfort equals unsafe. And if we are unsafe, then we need to be very fast reacting to try to get ourselves out of this unsafe space. But really, most of the time, when we go into fight flight, when we feel a big emotion, we are still safe. We are okay. We just don't like it. And we don't like it, so we want to get rid of it. What the goal is to really understand what is behind your food choices. Why are you choosing them? What the thought is, what the emotion is, and dive into that and start understanding and trusting the fact that like you can feel, but you don't have to react. Okay. You can feel, but it doesn't require a reaction. And I say this to my clients all the time. When you feel, it doesn't require a reaction. And in the beginning, a lot of my clients are like, I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me because you're so used to being in that fight flight and seeing it as a threat and needing to put away that threat as quickly as possible. But you haven't built trust with the fact that you can feel and that you're okay and you don't need the reaction. Okay. So these are the things I teach inside of my program. I want to make 2025 all about mindset. Um, Clients in my program lose weight all the time. I just got off the call with a client. She said, I don't even try and the weight comes off. It's because she's not focusing on the physical stuff because the physical stuff doesn't give you power. She has worked on the emotional stuff. The emotional stuff will allow you to change your mind. And if you change your mindset, the physical stuff will follow. Okay. So I am going to be focusing in on this for 2025. Those of you who are interested in that and are done with the New Year's resolution diets and joining a gym and doing it that way because you've done it year after year after year and you've gotten the same result, then let's make a change this year. Let's do it differently this year. And let's not keep doing the same thing over and over, right? let's look at our mindset. Let's look at all the power we have in behind the food choice that we're making. Okay. And I'm here to help guide you. So if you want more information on working with me, my programs, visit meredithreescoaching.com and you can gather more information there. Also, feel free to reach out to me. There's a contact form on there, and let's connect. Doing this alone and trying to guess and trying to do things in the wrong order and feeling like you're frustrated and you're feeling failure, you don't have to keep doing that. You can have support and you can have somebody show you exactly what you need to do so you can start seeing results. And you start seeing results quickly, okay? Because you start doing things in the right order. And so, if nothing else today, start just getting curious. Start getting aware and start getting curious. We can't start anything unless we start noticing. So start getting curious, start getting aware, and start looking behind the scenes. You ate something, why? Okay. You ate something, how did you feel before? Start getting curious. And then we can start making bigger changes. Okay. meredithreescoaching.com. And I look forward to connecting, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.